Hey guys, how you doing? How you doing? What are we doing today? Well, I wasn't gonna actually video this. I was just gonna get right to work, which is what I usually do. But then I thought to myself, there's been a few times when I told myself I should have videoed that because it had a potential for a disaster. So what I'm doing today is dealing with my 300 kilogram thereabouts cement planks. We've been going back and forth, talking to the neighbors and this and that, and called the macro guy once or whatever, talked to him, but he just didn't have a driver or whatever. So we're going back and forth on that many times. But I'll probably have to have help doing this. But I would not be remiss, or I would be remiss if I didn't try to do it by myself, because I'm a loner, man. I do shit by myself. Although I did have help with the tile. Yeah, so, and of course that sliding door guy. So where I have to contract, I will, but for the most part, doing it all here, man. So this is gonna get pretty good. What I decided to do was I'm just kind of laying out some teak planks on the way to where I want that cement slabs to be, and I kind of position this one right at the edge of this, and then what I'm doing is I'm taking this scrap steel bar I had, and I thought, you know what, I'm gonna slide it in here. I'm gonna just slide it like about the length of that, the length of the slab, so I'm not getting into the next slab. Let's see, it's about right here maybe. Now it sticks out elevated. These might be different lengths coming out, but you know what, I'm going to use my rake here as a pry bar. I was going to use my truck and pull it, but I thought, you know what, I should be able to pry this and move. The idea is that I'm going to slide this, move it out, and as soon as it touches the metal, the metal will fall down as it gently slides itself off down to the ground, or down to where maybe the edge is on or near that wood. And then the idea is that I would just take it and use maybe that same rake metal bar or whatever to try and pry it up on the wood, and I think it'll slide easier on the wood. So then I would slide it here, and pry it again, and just keep sliding it all the way up. I mean, I'm not an engineer, right? But I think that'll work, so I'm gonna try it. If it doesn't, then I'll leave it laying in the dirt until I get somebody else. But I want to try it because I think it will work. I mean, you don't have to be an engineer all the time, do you? I don't have to go be looking up engineering stuff. I mean, back in the day, right, when there wasn't any engineers, I'm not sure if that was caveman or whatever, but people figure stuff out. I'm not talking about pyramids and stuff, because those are aliens, man. But people figure stuff out, and I've thought about this many times, and hee-hawing and stuff, but I think it'll work. So let me get to it. I'm gonna set this camera up over here, and we'll see what happens. All right, back at you. Yeah. This ain't gonna cut it. I think I'm gonna go over to my neighbor, see if he's got one of them big, big rebar pry bars. I think he does. I thought I saw him. I thought he brought one over here one day, a long time ago. But yeah, I think a big bar about this thick with a flat nose where I can get in the dirt and pry it up. I think it'll work, man. Let me go do that and we'll get back at you. Alrighty. So yeah, just went to my neighbor's. Oh, let me get back here. Got this heavy ass rebar. Got a flat shovel and a pitched edge. We'll be able to pry that. When I told my neighbor what I was doing, or actually I wanted this, he goes, "What are you doing?" I go, "You know, I'm doing everything." He says, "Are you moving that cement?" I said, "Yeah." He goes, "By yourself?" I said, "Yeah." He started laughing. He goes, I gotta come check that out. So that's him right there.
Yep. Lại nè. Cái tiền cho mày.
Come on. And so I was gonna say, put on the wood and then wood.
Kết. Lệch ạ. Côm ạ, vàng ạ.
Lấy cái này nè.
Lệch côm ạ. Nhanh đi má.
Cái gì vậy?
Vàng. Tập hạt. Vàng ạ.
Mai bên này. He wants a round piece of metal to roll it on there. It's all right, but it slides on here. This will fry it up.
Chạy, để kết.
Now I'll use the other one to move it along.
Chạy gì.
Maดูสิ
เก่งมากใช่ไหม
นี่นะ
ฮะ
ดูเลยผมยกหนีซ้ายหนี
ย่า
ใช่ไหม
เข้าใจ
ไปอีกหน่อยอีก
นิดนึง
นี่เวลาใช่ไหม That was like 6 inches right there. But you know what? Rome wasn't built in a day. I'll raise it up with that pry bar. Right there. Yeah, man. What I thought was that I could get this a little more, aligned with that area, and then use my truck to try and, like, with the front bumper of the truck, hook my come along to the front bumper, and then to this leading edge of the cement, and then just kind of pull it, so I'm actually pushing that whole thing up forward. We'll check that out. What are you doing?
That's cool.
Think so, huh?
No.
Well, that was pretty easy. You can see probably I can do that myself. I mean, it's cool. My neighbor stopped working with his pigs, come over here and help me a little bit. But now the big task is to try and flip this thing on its smooth side without cracking it, or without cracking those cross beams that I put across over there. But it can be done, and it can also be done in your flip-flops. All right, well, let's get back at it. No. คุณไปอยู่ด้วยข้างหลังโอเคได้เค้กจับไว้นะช้าใช่ไหมครับผมโอเคเอาเค้กไปมาดันหน้าอีกเรื่อยๆแล้วร้องนะโอ้โหงอเล็กไม่ดีอ่ะI had a piece of steel pipe that was left over from when I made that pole for the light up there. I don't know where it is, man. Probably buried somewhere. I think that pipe would be good, making my job easier. I might just even go buy like a pipe, cut it up into like 4 sections, and place them strategically along the route. That way all these other ones are a lot more easier. I just put this first one in place, see if it can be done, and it appears that it can be done. So that'll be good. And then we'll increase the engineering part of it to make the rest of it go smooth, yeah? All right, well, my battery's dead, so we'll get back at you. Hey guys, how you doing? Well, day 2 of moving the slabs. Yesterday my neighbor popped over, helped me with the slabs, as you can probably see earlier in this video. We put 5 of them in place, and you know, talk about broke back, oh my god. So I figured maybe 5 a day would be good. But you know, whenever someone's helping you, you think differently, you know. So as far as my problem solving process, getting things done, you know, it was different. So anyway, we did put 5 of them in place, and then and last night I was thinking, this morning I was thinking, reviewing, you know, what were the challenges that I ran into yesterday, and just did a rethink, because I'm doing it by myself today. And this is what I got. I'll show you. So yesterday we put the 2 against the wall, 1, 2, and then 3, 4, 5 in place. And this morning, actually, I've already put 1, 2, 3, 4, those 4 in place, and I put that other one there too. And it was actually easier than it was with 2 people yesterday. Again, you know, just because. One, because obviously I learned more yesterday what I needed to do, but I just think I work better alone, man. You know, when I'm in my creative senses or whatever. So, but what I did really was, I did change the approach. You know, the wood, I have this a little bit elevated so it comes over the edge there, because that was always a stopping point. The wood itself, yeah, I had it laid out end to end, and they're kind of turned this way a little bit. So we were trying to, and it probably shows in the previous part of the video where we make these turns or whatever, always slapping it around. So what I did first was I overlapped the edges, so there's no transition I got to worry about. And then I made this, you know, basically straight out. straight out, and then I had these two more bars that were left over in my stack. I laid them straight out over here to make more of a track, and you know, using my metal bar that I found, I cut it in half, and you know, now it's going to be easier to roll along. So I'm just going to edge this thing over, get it on top of the metal bar, or yeah, the rolling bar, roll it up, and then once I get it, I'll probably have to raise it up a little bit to get it on top of here. But I do have an extra piece of the post that I cut off from, you know, when we did the post there. So I had that cut off, and I'm gonna use that as a, you know, as a fulcrum. So that's basically like your second man right there. And then the idea is that I'll just swing it out. I'll use that other piece of metal over here, and I'll swing out the end so that the cement slab is straight from the get-go, and I don't have to worry about that. It's still a little bit uneven because it goes downhill a little bit here and this and that, so I'll probably have to make some adjustments of that as I roll it up. But it's a hell of a lot easier to go ahead and probably pull it all the way up, and then certainly on top of the cement that's already in place, we'll pull it up. So we'll let me get that ready, and I'll have you take a look at it. All right, back at you. Well, of course, I went back to reposition the camera, and the iPhone storage was full. So I didn't see that one part. But I scooted it along here. It tilts over a little bit, but that's no problem. I'll get it into position, and I'll flip it. I gotta flip it over, get it over there. All right, let's take a look. Set that camera back down. Whoa. All right. But yeah, it went pretty smooth over here. Just putting the metal holes here, then just shoot. Where's my lever? Oh, here it is. There's like six of those little bars in there. They're not that big, actually. Gonna watch my toes, man. I gotta get that wood out and then flip it. using some cut banana tree to soften the blow when it flips over, because it's going to be flipping over not even, right? And it's probably going to clip maybe. So this will soften the blow enough for me to get it in position afterwards. It's not as strong as the rebar, but it's longer, so it makes up for it. Whoa. There you go. It's not as high, so I have to raise it up, put a block in there, move it forward, then raise it up and take that block out. A little bit of a trick, or a little bit of a problem. Wasn't expecting this, but I'm gonna have to correct it on the next one. So look here on these things. This is what I was talking about, where I cut those off. But this one right here, this is standing up. There's one on this end, there's one on that end. And originally those were put in there That's where they hook the metal winch, you know, when they're using a boom truck, and braces to lift those things off of the truck and put them on the ground. But what I see is that it's like uneven. I'm like, why is this uneven? And then I see what's happening is, I don't know if you can see this, but that thing is touching this beam right here, man. So I think what I'm gonna have to do is go on this side, use my fulcrum, raise that up enough to get my grinder in there and cut that thing off. Because it's pretty heavy, you can't just hit it with metal. I need to grind it off. All right, man, well, that's how we do it. I got 1, 2, 3 more whole pieces. And then there's gonna be this one, this piece right here actually will be a cut-off piece, and I'll put that there. I'll have to cut it off. I was gonna go with another angle piece to cut, but then I'd have to cement it in, so I think it would be all right. Just 3 more of those, and then and that quarter piece, I guess it is, or a third of a piece. Yeah, that's how we do it here on the Bandog. We re-engineer it. Is that what it's called? All right, man. Let me get to it. I'll show you when it's done, and we'll get back at you. Well, sun's going down, and it's quitting time. But those of you who saw that big old pile of cement slabs over there, I've done some pretty good damage with it today and yesterday. But anyway, I'm gonna feel this tomorrow. This is what I got finished. Check it out. Boom. Not perfectly straight, but I think it's okay, man. Gonna fix up real good. Now there's one more piece here, and half a piece here, or a quarter, whatever, third piece. But I didn't put that one today because I'm gonna have to cut it. It's a full length, and it'll go through here and go through here, no problem. But when it comes to here, obviously, it's not. These are 35 cent wide. So I'm gonna have to get it up here, and then I'll cut it on the spot and then slide it in more and drop it in. And that'll take me to right about in there. And then I'll just cut another piece from the second one, because this is the one that's going to be the first one. Second one will go right up here. It'll probably end on the other side of that pole, maybe. So I think I'm going to have to wind up leaving that one blank unless I do something else, backfill this with some cement and make it go out that way. Or not. Originally, I think I planned on going at an angle. So we'll see how that goes. But that's what it is now, man. I got the deck finished. Got the first deck finished. Second deck on that side. But I don't know if I'm gonna do it on these cement ones. Brutal, man. You know, early on, I think I convinced myself that I couldn't do it by myself, you know. Of course, my wife helps. And the boys, everybody come over, be like, oh, dude, you ain't lifting that, man. You ain't, no. You need a backhoe. You need earth mover, blah, blah, blah. You need 5 guys. And whilst all that could have worked, turns out, didn't need any of that. Just needed a little self-reflection, ingenuity, and basic physics. Put round stuff under heavy stuff and it moves. That's how that works. Unless you're an alien. All right, man. Well, hope you enjoyed that. If you got any comments, be sure to leave them. But thanks for watching. And keep watching. And I'll get back at you.